This is Super Mario Bros. Warpless. I'm AD2.
I'm Stan.
I'm Empat.
All right, let's go. Gonna get a mushroom straight away, and then eventually get fire. The fire flower actually saves time over the course of the run, because I'm gonna fire kill every Bowser in every castle. Cool. Do you want to explain frame rules, Stephen?
Yeah, so one of the big mechanics in Super Mario Bros. Speedrunning is the frame rule. Basically, I guess the analogy, this is the one that Darbian uses, is that at the end of the level, Mario has to catch the bus to the next level, and the buses only run, they want to keep to a very strict schedule and only come every 0.35 seconds, which is 21 frames. This game runs at 60 frames a second. So if basically it means that you can make, if you get to the bus stop 1 frame after the last bus left, then you have to wait another 20 frames for the next one to come around, which means you don't necessarily need to go as fast as possible to beat the level. You just need to go as fast enough to catch the same bus as someone that does the level as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And it means you'll only save or lose time in increments of 0.35 seconds.
Yeah, so it means some levels I have to basically hold right the entire time, and other levels I can slow down a bit and still be just as fast as if I had tried to go as fast as possible.
So one thing worth noting is that when you're interacting with enemies, if you are moving downwards and jumping on an enemy, you will not get hit. The enemy will, you'll bounce off them or whatever is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
So
it's very forgiving, actually, the way you interact with enemies in this game.
So there are some situations where it'll look like there's no way he could have jumped on that guy, but that's just how the game works.
So if you notice there, the bridge didn't actually collapse. Usually the bridge will collapse and Bowser will fall down. But by shooting him with fire, the bridge doesn't collapse, and that actually saves a couple of seconds on each castle.
Yeah, that's the main reason fire is faster than just staying small.
Yeah. Tricky kills there. Do you want to explain Piranha Plant hitboxes real quick?
Yeah, so Piranha Plants, their hitboxes are not even close to their graphics. If you like, I've seen renderings of the hitbox, and it's basically just a small square, a small rectangle around the stem, and then most of the Piranha Plant just you won't interact with at all. Which it can be a bit of a double-edged sword, because while you can avoid damage you can come really close to Piranha Plants and not take damage. It also means that if you're trying to fireball them to get them out of your way, you've got a much smaller target than you'd think.
Yeah, it can be very tricky to hit those fireball shots. There's a bit of possible RNG here, but we got good RNG. But since I have fire, I can shoot most fish that would get in my way, like that one. Okay. Oh, alright. So a quick note on fireworks. Fireworks in this game occur when you get a 1, a 3, or a 6 as the last digit of your timer when you hit the flagpole. So you want to avoid that because the animation of fireworks is very slow. There are a few levels where if I had just held run and gone to the right, I would get fireworks by getting those numbers on the timer. Oh, that's unfortunate. So I have to slow down intentionally in some levels.
Yeah, it's worth slowing down to avoid a 6 or a 3, because you'll get that. If you get a 6 on the timer, you'll get 6 fireworks. If you get a 3 on the timer, you get 3. Yeah. A 1 isn't really worth avoiding. You lose about as much time from the firework as you would from slowing down to avoid the firework.
Okay. In 2-4, I'm going to face my biggest enemy in this game, which is actually crouching. There are a bunch of things where you need to crouch to have the small Mario hitbox. And crouching on 30-year-old hardware can be difficult. That's a problem.
I believe...
I was just demonstrating.
I believe crouching in this game, you need to hold the down button and none of the other buttons on the D-pad.
Yeah.
Which, you can't just hold down and right and have that make you duck. You need to make sure you're not pressing any other buttons, which can be tricky, especially on an old D-pad.
Okay, 3-1 can actually be quite difficult and small, at least for me. Gonna have to wait on a couple of these plants. Okay. Can get a mushroom at the end of this level. And these are the stairs where you can get, well, sort of infinite one-ups. Not really, but you can get lots of one-ups there with the classic bounce on the Cooper on the stairs trick. I'm going to not do that because hopefully I won't die several times in this run. Okay, and I can get fire back here, thankfully. That's called a quick grab. You can actually position yourself such that you grab it from the side of the power-up block. You're not really supposed to do that, and it saves some time.
Yeah, I think you might be sort of clipping inside the block slightly there.
Yeah, I can actually tap right, which is the opposite direction to where I want to go, to sort of clip into the block and grab it.
Yeah, the way like interaction with walls works in this game is that the game sort of pushes you the opposite direction of what you're holding on the D-pad, which means if you've got a wall to your right and you hold left, that can clip you into the wall if you do it right.
Yep. That can be used for some certain tricks in any percent, but only for fast grab, well, for my run here. Okay, 3-4, lots of potaboos that go to random heights. That jump generally works. It cannot work. Okay, I'm gonna wait here. And try and fire kill Bowser. Good. And 69 coins.
So, when you're doing a run of this game at a very high level, often runners will know what frame rule they're on, and because RNG is based on the RNG seed is effectively just a fixed amount of time since the console was powered on. So if you know exactly how long it's been since you powered your console on, when you begin a level, you can often predict the RNG.
Yeah. So when I do PB attempts here, I actually have a spreadsheet open and I'm looking at my splits and checking with the spreadsheet to see exactly what pattern I'll get. That's especially useful in 5-4, where you can make sure you get good fire bars and you don't have to slow down. Okay. In any percent, this is where I would take the wrong warp, but here I'm just going to try and jump on top of the level and sort of just run over it. Yeah, there we go. We've got time for a donation if there is one. Nice.
It's not a donation, but I'll donate $50 if you get the lookout glitch.
Alright, I'll go for it.
You might notice AD2 jumps at the top of the flagpole on almost every stage.
Oh.
That's due to, you can get a bit of hang time in the air as Mario gets off the pole. And because Mario is facing backwards, that actually causes him to accelerate faster. And it saves a few frames, and sometimes enough to save an entire frame rule.
Yep.
Yeah, there are some flagpoles in the
Thanks
game.
for the one clap. I feel appreciated.
There are some flagpoles like that one where you just can't grab the top.
Yep. You do your best.
Oh, you could, but it would be far too
4-4
slow.
is one of the hardest Bowsers, at least casually and sometimes in the speedrun. The level itself is easy, it's just a maze. And I've played it enough times to know where to go in the maze, thankfully.
And then the Bowser, this is a fairly unique Bowser where he's got the 5R potaboos and this one doesn't throw hammers, does it?
Okay. Now World 5, probably the hardest world There are 3 kind of difficult levels. First one's alright. Oh, that's like a 1 in 100 pattern right there. Had to react to that. And then I got 6 on the timer, so I'm going to get 6 fireworks and wait a bit. There's a cannon right at the start of 5-2. It might shoot me. If it does, I will take damage.
Yeah, this build, the launcher just sucks.
Okay. It didn't shoot, so we're good. If I did get hit there, there are 2 other power-ups in this stage that I can get to fully get my fire back. Oh, 6 fireworks. Whoops.
That's 12 fireworks with 2
12
levels.
fireworks, yep. 5-3, possibly the hardest level. There are going to be a bunch of random bullet bills just shoot from the right side of the screen, and I have to react to them.
Not to mention, if you play this level wrong, it is possible that a platform necessary to beat the stage will just despawn and you won't be able to get through that platform that you just jumped off. Just because of the large number of sprites, including the bullet bills.
So you saw I bounced on a Goomba there. That was intentional. It's to limit the number of sprites so that that platform definitely spawns. That would be, you just cannot make that jump without that platform. Okay. That's intentional. I'm hoping that set up these fire bars to be good. Yeah,
Nice
good.
fire bars.
Oh, that's not where I want to be. Okay, I just decided to jump over Bowser there for safety. 5-4. There are so many things that can go wrong in 5-4. It's really good to keep fire there. And then 6-1, kind of like 4-1, there's just a Lakitu chilling up there. And as you might know, the game is a bit bugged, such that Lakitu will always throw behind you if you just keep running.
Yeah, Lakitu is only really dangerous to a casual player in this game.
Yep. Or if you make some serious errors. 6-2 is full of the piranha plants, so it can be very intimidating in a casual play. I'm hoping to keep my fire through it so I can just shoot each one I encounter. I'm also slowing down at those 2 points intentionally to avoid fireworks. Okay, good. So you saw there was a 3 on the timer there, and then it just stick to a 2 as I got the flag. That's set up that way. 6-3, also kind of difficult. Right at the end there are some bullet bills that randomly shoot from the right. And there are a bunch of platforms in the sky. And I have to delay to stop getting fireworks. Okay. There's just a lot to do in 6-3. Okay. Now, similar to 5-4 and 6-4, I'm going to pause for a bit to manipulate fire bars and hopefully get through without getting hit. Since I don't know the pattern of the Potoboos. Oh, that's unlucky. That fire bar can be nice, or it cannot be nice. You don't really know unless you don't slow down at all and you look at the spreadsheet.
So there aren't very many things that lag in Super Mario Bros. 1, but fireballing a Bowser while there are a bunch of hammers on the screen is one of them.
Yeah, so now the Bowsers have hammers. It's not a problem if you fire kill them. World 7's also quite challenging, and then World 8's kind of like a breath of relief. That was a very nice 7-1. I delayed on those final stairs just for a bit to get a 2 on the timer instead of a 3, avoid fireworks. And now we have maybe a tie for the hardest level in the game with 5-3. This is another water stage. It's just like 2-2 in layout, except they added a whole bunch of bloopers. I can also, a lot of these fish positions are also random, so I have to react to bloopers and fish or cheap sheeps. Okay, good so far. And those pits there suck you down, so you have to avoid that. You have to sort of compensate for it in your swimming. Okay, that's a perfect 7-2. I'm very surprised I didn't lose fire there. And then 7-3 is just like 2-3. They sort of started repeating levels towards the end, except there are some enemies on the ground as well as the cheap sheeps flying in the air.
Yeah, they added a bunch of Coopers and Paratroopers.
Oh, that's good. I actually shot one of the cheeps that could have gotten in my way. Okay, good. Seven 4 is a maze level. There are a few more steps to this one, but it's not too bad. Then there's another Bowser kill. Earlier on in the run, I was bonking against the elevators to get very quick Bowser kills, but the elevator doesn't exist anymore above Bowser, so I have to play this one a bit differently. Okay, that's fine. When Bowser jumps forward, it's generally faster to actually crouch and go under than get the kill from behind and grab the axe. And then World 8. 8-1 is an incredibly long level, but it becomes a bit easier when you can just kill all these piranha plants.
Yeah, it's definitely easy. Normally you'd be jumping off the lips of the pipes, which is just quite difficult.
Okay. Do you want to explain the frame rule in this level, Steve?
Yeah, so the frame rule in 8.1 is very tight. Basically, well, in Warpless, as long as you hit the star block, you will make it, but you only have one frame. You only have one frame to make it. You can't slow down at all if you want to get the fastest frame rule. In any percent, if you hit the star block, there is only a 3 in 4 chance of getting the frame rule, and it's based on the frame you enter the level. Unless you hit the star block on the first frame possible, it's a whole mess of confusing things.
Okay. Fishing for a bullet here. Oh, ooh, that's a shame. No bullet bill glitch. Oh. Yes, do you want to claim bullet bill glitch real quick?
So, bullet bill glitch, basically, if you bounce off a bullet in the right way, and then grab the flagpole from the bottom, you end up, instead of walking to the castle, you end up stuck running against the bottom of the flagpole, the block at the bottom of the flagpole, and the normal trigger to end the level is that Mario jumps off the flag, walks to the castle, hits an invisible block, and then starts running, and then that starts the countdown to the next stage. But because Mario has instead just run into the flagpole block, he just that starts that countdown much sooner.
There's a lot in 8-4. It's kind of another maze. You go through the right pipes and do a bunch of different rooms.
Thankfully that piranha always despawns.
Yeah, I'm going to try for a wall jump. Oh, ooh. It's unfortunate.
First death.
Yeah. Reset. Okay. So the wall jump is hitting a perfect pixel and then generally jumping on that frame.
setup you're doing there lets you get a 2-frame wall jump.
Yeah. I missed it there, so I just hit the invisible block and jumped up.
And then this room you do a wrong warp by scrolling the screen to the right and then going back to the left and jumping into that pipe. The way pipes work in this game is that the game determines where you go based on the position of the screen. So if you scroll the screen further than the developer was intended in a room and then go back in another pipe, it can take you to not necessarily where they intended it to go.
And time.
What have we got?
Okay, that's acceptable. That's, yeah, a lot of jumps can be death or getting the jump. So I'm happy with that. Thanks everyone for watching, and thanks for the commentary, Stephen and MPAT.